Welcome back everyone. The Lakers entered the NBA draft with the 17th and 40th overall draft picks, and while many questioned if they would or even should keep them, I think they might have struck gold here. I'm not even talking about their first round draft pick here either. I do like Jalen Hood-Schifino, but I really like Maxwell Lewis. If you kept up with my pre-draft content, then you'll know that I had him as a possibility for their 17th overall pick. And yet, they were somehow able to get him at 40th. Now, you might think that there's something wrong with him due to that, but it's very likely from him simply coming from a mid-major D1 college. I mean, maybe he had a bad workout or two to go along with that, but it's very difficult for a mid-major D1 prospect to get drafted in the first round, let alone to be drafted at all. In fact, there were only 6 of them who got drafted in total. 2 of them went in the first round with Brandon Podziemski and Ben Shepherd, and then 4 of them went in the second round, with Maxwell Lewis being the most noteworthy one. And in my opinion, he is one of the very few players taken in the second round who legitimately has star potential. Now, I'm not saying he will be a once-in-a-generation type player like Victor Wembanyama could be, but I truly believe that he could be the steal of the entire draft. Now, there definitely are a few other prospects with an argument here as well, but in today's video, we're going to talk about why the Lakers struck gold with Maxwell Lewis, and why they likely know that they did. Real quick before we get into it though, I would like to invite you to join our NBA Discord. If you enjoy having NBA or Laker-related discussion, being updated on NBA news, or chatting with other fans during live games, then I guarantee you would enjoy it. There will be a link to check it out both on the screen and in the video description down below. Without further ado though, let's dive right into it. And while I did talk about Maxwell Lewis in my draft recap video, I felt like he deserved an entire one dedicated to him alone, as there is plenty to talk about when it comes to evaluating his overall game. And rather than having to summarize it like I did before, we're going to break down his game bit by bit. But we'll begin by talking about the part that everyone likes, with that being offense. And the biggest compliment I can give him is that he can truly score at all 3 levels, which is not something that many 20-year-olds can do coming out of college. However, I would like to see him become a bit more consistent, and I'm not even talking about his shooting efficiency here either. I'm more so referring to him getting better at reading the defense. I mean, he can basically get wherever he wants to on the court when he's locked in. The only problem is that he tends to either settle or not read the defense correctly to make life easy on himself. One thing that he did way too often was settle for jump shots rather than attacking the rim, and while he does have a pretty good jump shot, I would much rather see him getting to the rim. You never want to see a guy with that much athletic ability settling for 3-point shots in the open court, and yet that is what Maxwell Lewis did at times. It's actually pretty impressive that he shot 47% from the field while taking shots like that, and if he could simply become more disciplined on offense, that efficiency would jump up even higher. Now, you obviously need to be able to shoot the ball in today's NBA, but getting to the rim will always be more efficient, and Maxwell Lewis can do that at a borderline elite level. He is already a very good ball handler for a wing player, and then when you combine that with his athletic ability, you might just want to get out of the way when he gets to the rim. But even looking beyond his ability to finish above the rim, he is very good at finishing with both hands, which in my opinion is much more important than simply being a high flyer. And after watching a guy like Talen Horton-Tucker play for a few years, I have really grown to appreciate young players who can finish with either hand. Not trying to throw shade at THT here, but he is really the perfect example of a one-dimensional scorer at the rim. I mean, you already know he'll try to finish with his right hand, and while his massive wingspan definitely helps him overcome that at times, it often leads to him putting up a wild shot that either gets blocked or comes nowhere near going in the basket. But that will not be a problem with Maxwell Lewis. He can finish with either hand at the rim, and then it's very difficult for a defender to time his shot with how well he gets off the ground. And again, I think he needs to focus on attacking the rim even more. He is a pretty good jump shooter, but finishing at the rim is without a doubt his bread and butter. In regard to his shooting ability though, I'm really looking forward to watching him play off the ball a bit more. We all know he can create for himself, but how good can he become while playing within the flow of an offense? I've mentioned it before, but he did not have much talent around him in college, and especially not in regard to somebody who could routinely create a shot for him. Though I think we'll get a taste of that during Summer League, with Jalen Hood-Schifino likely to be their primary point guard. That will leave Lewis playing off the ball more than usual. And while we haven't seen much of it, he has shown the ability to do it at times. Even with him taking a lot of step-back three-point shots, he still managed to shoot over 35% from 3 during his college career. In fact, he shot even better and on a higher volume during his freshman year compared to his sophomore year. He attempted over 4 3-point shots in only 20 minutes of playing time and knocked down 36.3% of them. Again, many of those were shots that he created for himself, but I think he's shown the ability to knock down 3-point shots, which will hopefully translate well to playing off the ball a bit more. But now moving on to his potential on defense, and at the moment, that's really what it is too. He's more of a project on defense compared to being a complete product. Though there definitely is a lot to like here. When he's actually committed, Maxwell Lewis can be a game changer on defense. Even with him not having very good intangibles on defense, he was still able to make plays due to his athletic ability alone. His good timing allows him to interfere with passing lanes, and that often led to him getting wide open shots at the rim in transition. Not only that though, but his ability to recover on defense is pretty darn impressive. Now, a lot of that recovery is due to him not reading the defense correctly, but the amount of ground he can cover is special. Even after beating him backdoor, you are not guaranteed to be free from him. In fact, it felt like that was where a lot of his blocked shots came from. Now, that definitely will be harder for him to do at the NBA level, but it's never a bad thing to have a guy who can recover like that on defense, and he won't have to do that with more commitment, along with a little more development in general. But what he can do well is matching up one-on-one, and that is the foundation of being a good defender. When he was not required to make reads on defense, Lewis did a very good job staying in front of his matchup. He will not be a guy you can target through isolation plays. He can move his feet well enough to keep up with guards, has the length to bother bigger wing players, and then can rapidly recover to bother shot attempts. Again, the foundation is there for him to become a good and maybe even a great defender down the line. It will be a learning process for him, but pretty much everything he lacks on defense can either be corrected or learned over time. To wrap everything up here though, Maxwell Lewis could become a very good player for the Lakers, and even with what he is right now, he could still make an impact at the NBA level. I really don't think there is anything you can look at with him and say he cannot get better at. He is already a very well-rounded player on offense, and then has plenty of potential on defense. It will simply take time for him to smooth out the edges. With all of that being said though, what do you guys think? How do you feel about the addition of Maxwell Lewis with the 40th overall draft pick? Comment your thoughts down below. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all of my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.